Hello? Hello? Oh, I think the pepper's starting to kick in. My nose is like on the brink of sneezing, but it keeps like resisting it. I have apparently very strong nose force or whatever it is. Let's go down to the next pangolin fact. Oh, I like this bit. I think I like this bit. I like the Rachni. I think it's kind of cool.
Serves as our voice. We cannot sing, not in these low spaces. Your music.
It is really interesting that they obviously have a different way of communicating through like song or like rhythm, like bugs do.
Your way of communicating is strange, flat. It does not color.
While we're going through this dialogue, another pangolin fact for you. The name pangolin comes from the Malay word penguling, meaning rolling up. Kind of like pillbug or roly-poly. Literally kind of the same thing, but they are named after the way they roll up to defend themselves.
We are Rachni.
How are you speaking through her?
Our kind sing through touchings of thought. We pluck the strings, and the other understands. She is
love these commando outfits. I really want one.
She has colors we have no names
So many belts. It would take an hour to get dressed or undressed, but it'd be worth it because you look really cool. Oh, they look like seatbelts. Oh, if I get enough seatbelts, I could probably do that.
The children we birthed were stolen from us before they could learn.
You'd be so safe in a car.
They are lost to silence. And their suffering, they cannot be saved. They will only cause harm as they are.
I don't understand. Why are your children killing people?
These needlemen, they stole
needlemen.
our eggs from us. They sought to turn our children into
Beasts of war.
claws with no songs of their own. Our elders are comfortable with silence. Children know only fear if no one sings to them. Fear
Excuse me,
has
hiccups again.
shattered their minds.
I don't think I can sniff any more pepper. I don't think I can force a sneeze.
A child left alone in a closet until she is 16 would not be sane.
If you're sure they can't be saved.
It is lamentable, but necessary.
I want to be a tree pangolin. They are pretty. My face is moving too much.
What will you sing?
There's such pretty scales.
Will you release us? Are we to fade away once more?
The Rachni were a threat to the galaxy. Those tanks are filled with acid. If she gets out of hand, they dissolve her.
They made
Awful.
a mistake. They let the Krogan go too far. This is a chance for us to atone. She has done nothing to us.
Your companions hear the truth. You have the power to free us. Or return
I know exactly what I would do in this
to the
situation.
silence of memory.
I will not kill you.
I won't destroy your entire race. You'll go free.
You will give us the chance to compose
Yeah.
anew.
Save the spiders. Save the pangolins.
We will sing of your forgiveness to our children.
It's cute. Look at the... Love the buggy. Bye. Be safe. Have a good journey home. Pretty spider. Friend spider. I leveled up again. Oh, I have 2 more points. What does that get me? 50 shield per second. I definitely need that. I get more decryption. You get 2. You shall get them on whatever it was I was meant to do last time. And you get 2 on... Ah, fuck, sure, whatever. Didn't mean to do that one. Scroll all the way down. Oh, my nose. I think I've just irritated it. Ugh. Never try and make a sneeze with pepper. Now what? Where do we go? Can't go that way. Do not enjoy that noise. Is there something else I have to do? No? This looks like the door I have to go through, I guess. Oh dear. I had no interest in it anyway because I think it looked really like cheap by comparison to the game story or whatever. Oh, this is the hot labs place. Oh, enemies. I can go to the... Why are there enemies? Don't understand. We go away to the elevator. Hello, Yaroslav Tartakovsky. Oh, yuck. That's not very good.
Are you here to secure the situation?
How are you holding up?
You must listen to me. If we do not contain our mistake, they will drop bombs from the battle stations. You understand?
You let these things out?
I am only following the
Adam
orders.
from
Binary
Yims?
Helix found an egg.
You might
It was on a derelict ship,
say?
thousands of years drifting. This was Rachni's ship. Inside
Young
they find many
Mr.
eggs in cryogenic suspension.
Oh, your movie sucks, okay.
A 1,000-year-old egg hatched?
I don't know
Yes.
any of these people.
Tough to be
I'm
so
not very
long
up on
frozen.
who YouTubers
They
are at all.
survived the centuries.
It's kind of bad of me.
This is miraculous. Binary Helix planned to clone Rachni, mass produce them, create an army. But when they get here, they find this egg is not a common Rachni. It is a queen. After she lays eggs, they move her to Rift Station. They are thinking that without her, they can raise the babies to be obedient.
That didn't work, did it?
Obviously they were wrong.
This was exactly the wrong thing to do.
Oh no. Oh,
I am
why do
thinking
people have to do that?
without a
It's
queen,
awful.
Rachni do not develop properly. Her mind is shaping theirs. These Rachni are uncontrollable.
Then all we need to do is bring her here.
Why did my hand do that?
No, I am sorry, but this will not work. These Rachni are beyond saving. It is a sad thing, but they must be euthanized. I am thinking that the neutron purge must be set off.
What is
I'm not
this
familiar
purge?
with the purge system.
It creates bursts of neutron radiation.
A burst,
Kills
a burst, a
everything
burst.
within the station. Things beyond get genetic damage of varying degree.
Oh. Sorry, that wasn't to do with the dialogue. I was looking at more Pangolinfox. How do they eat stones to improve their digestion? They're gastroliths.
I am not so much good for searching.
So
yes?
technically, I guess Ark can eat rocks.
Mother always say I would meet a bad end.
Ooh. So this is all the Rachni Queen was talking about. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of these YouTubers. They're kind of they may inherently know that something is wrong, but as soon as they're so desperate to be right, as it were, that they will accept any kind of mild criticism or even justified criticism as a personal attack. Like if I said something awful, anyone would be within their rights to call me out on it. Why would I want to object to that? Because I want to be kind to people. If I'm not kind to people, what kind of person am I trying to be, you know? And the thing is, I know that what they're trying maybe preemptively to curtail is this idea of like villainization or whatever. But the first time someone hears something like that, that's going to be their impression of you. It's up to you to modify that and go, well, Yeah, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Or I said it too quickly, or I didn't know, or I'm just... When I started watching Achievement Hunter, it was very ingrained in that culture. They said it like several times a video. And, you know, if that is your primary form of consumption, you think it's acceptable because it's around you everywhere, then you stop it. If you really care about people, then you stop it. That's it. I don't get why when someone comes to you and says this hurts, why your immediate reaction isn't to go, oh damn, I'm sorry.
Who would have the code?
Director of Operations Yaroslav Tartakovsky, or any executive officer of Binary Helix.
We're
That
moving
was literally
on.
just there. Why didn't he give me the thing?
Logging you out, Commander.
But it sucks that these people get surrounded in so many, you know, yes people who will just go, no, don't apologize, you didn't do anything wrong.
I am feeling not so well.
How do we set off the purge?
Arming controls are nearby. All you do is insert the key. Then I will give Liara the start.
Oh dear. How did they not see that? He's in the middle of the room. He's very, very far into the middle of the room. That was a bit... Where did it even come from? Was it under the table? Was it under this pile of papers? Is that where it came from? You caused this. Apparently. Can I talk to him? Hello? Hello? I don't have to input the code, do I? Got the code. Why not? Oops. Wasn't a very good idea, was it? There are some movies that just don't work. Although I imagine it won't be long before someone comes and goes, "Hey, I've got the rights to a Frogger movie. Let's do that."
Online. How can
Excuse
I
me.
help you?
Activate
Some
the
things
neutron
just shouldn't be
purge.
done.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that without proper code authorization.
I have the
Code
code.
input 875020079. Code Omega local execution.
Verified. Code Omega execution.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to play it as a game because you have gameplay that makes it like you're linking bit to bit with story. And oh god. Stuff bypasses barriers. And there are a lot of them. Oh, there's more. I don't appreciate this. Please, 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 please. There we go. Oh crap, there's more. I needed a lot of Medigel. Is that how long before we have to escape? Summon, nummon, nummon. Ba, 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 ba. It'd be hard to get Mass Effect into a movie. Maybe that's why they just did the whoa. The side story starring James Vega. Now Mario works better as an animation, to be fair, than when they tried to do the live action movie. But depart Rift Station via the passenger tram you came in on. But yeah, I mean, this is what gets me about stuff like the Sonic movie. Sonic, I mean, it's completely balls crazy plot. But they end up, basically they just end up making a kind of a reverse isekai movie where Mario or Sonic or whoever are thrown into the real world and have to deal with getting back or staying here. And I always hated those kind of stories. Because they never bother trying to do anything other than
What's our next move?
with
Head for the Mu relay.
The Mu relay could link to dozens of systems.
Look at the
Unless
law
we know
properly.
exactly where
I'm not
Saren's going,
stretchy.
we'd just be wasting our time.
The commander is right. We cannot rush off blind.
Sonic?
We still need to
It was
learn
okay.
more about Saren.
I liked it.
Who put you in charge?
Well, I mean,
Did the
I've
commander
there are
resign when I
ones
wasn't looking?
I preferred.
We're all on the same team here, Williams. She's just trying to help.
Sorry, Commander.
I don't like you, but it's okay.
This is a tough mission. We're all on edge. Everyone go get some rest. Crew dismissed.
Novaria report is away, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Sure.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Is this report
talkie
accurate,
time.
Commander? You found Rachni on Novaria?
And then release the Queen. Do you have any idea what you've done? How many generations until they overrun the galaxy?
Excuse me, I've given myself a percentile increase in being able to solve this in 2 games' time. So there you go. You can stuff it. The only
This
unsexy
queen is
Turian
different.
main
She
character in this game.
understands why her kind had to be wiped out last time around.
I hope you're right, Shepard. Our children's children will pay the price if you're not.
We'll be waiting for your next report, Commander.
Having said that, there was the thing I really did like about the Sonic movie was the animation. It was compelling enough just to watch Sonic, and I think that'll probably be my reason to go and see Sonic 2, is to see Knuckles and Tails animated well. I really don't care about the human characters. I think they were kind of unnecessary. So that is not why I'm going to see it. Sonic was... Who was Sonic? You wanted a Sonic movie, it was Sonic in a movie. It was great for that. It's never going to be like critically acclaimed because, I mean, it's a Sonic
Yes,
movie.
Commander? Is there something you need?
Nope.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Are you going to talk to me again? The awkward standing up shot.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
Wow, pangolins eat a lot of insects.
She was.
70 million insects a year.
I prefer to remember
Full-grown
Benezia
pangolin
as
will
she
eat
used to
about
be,
200,000
before
insects
she was
per
corrupted by
day on
Sovereign's
average. That's
power.
massive.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
Apparently they're really good for crops because they will eat so many
I
bugs.
appreciate your
They
concern,
are
but I
called
am
pest
fine.
controllers.
Benezia chose
They
her
are
path,
hungry.
just as
Yeah,
I have chosen
hungry.
mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
That's it.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Hungry. Hungry pangies. Hungry pangy, eat the buggy. Caden Alenko, you are rather boring. Where is the elevator? Yeah, I think the most you can want, the most you can ask for with those kind of characters is literally just to have them portrayed well, to have them portrayed, you know, being interesting.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
Oh, thank me,
What for,
please.
Garrus?
For everything.
Mm.
Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought a lot about what you've told me.
Wow.
About not sacrificing innocence to achieve the goal. About finding the best way through, not just the fastest. And I've been thinking about Dr. Salion too. I'd convinced myself that he deserved to die, but then I started thinking about why I wanted him dead. I realized it wasn't because of what he did to those people.
Tell me these things.
That was part of it, but I think most of it was because he got away from me. He escaped under my watch.
Oh, like Black Knight, you mean?
I let it become personal.
Words mean nothing until you turn them into action, Garrus. What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, that's kind of
I'm
harsh.
going back to CSEC. I think I can make a difference.
No, don't
I'll also
stay.
apply for Spectre training, but I'll do it right.
I
won't
don't know
compromise
a lot
myself
about
for
those
gain.
games.
If the people I'm sworn to protect can't trust me,
I played a few
then I
demos.
don't deserve to be the one protecting them.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't be a cop.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Are you gonna just grump at me again, Rex?
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I've seen Game Grumps play through them. It's probably not the best way to enjoy a Sonic game.
But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few.
I know the story of Sonic. I think it's Sonic 06.
I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
That was just through the Snapcube
I
dub.
guess even politicians have needed
Watched a
mercs
couple
from
of those.
time to time, huh?
Time to time. If it wasn't for politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much.
That would be interesting.
His old friend
weird, potentially having enemies based off Winnie the Pooh. But
I can see where that might give you pause.
I mean, there's plenty of properties that I think would be really interesting to explore. I'd like to see some of the different mythologies, not just old Western folklore, but well, I guess they're made in Japan, aren't they? So I guess they've probably had enough of Japanese folklore, maybe.
We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An Asari commando mercenary. That's unusual, isn't it?
It's more Bojangles time.
Say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway.
Hey, Rex doesn't discriminate. That's cool.
About the diplomat's contract. She and I had a good laugh about it.
Oh, sounds like it's about to get frisky.
So what'd you do?
Well, I wasn't going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent.
It kind of sucks sometimes that so many beloved characters are doomed to be trapped in the hands of corporations that don't really connect as fans. I think that's probably why so many Disney properties end up being rebooted the way they do. Like, Rescue Rangers.
Store of ammunition. Had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the third day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone, life support was failing, but I had her.
Yeah.
She'd locked herself in the med lab.
But I like that they actually recognize how passionate the fans are and, you know, embrace the work that they do. That's how you can actually inspire people to keep,
Station's core went critical.
like, actually want to get into the industry.
I assume the Asari commando didn't make it.
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message.
Alina.
Better luck next time.
Hello, Alina.
Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
Oh, there's pepper all over my lips.
What about the diplomat?
They're hot.
You wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was
I see.
really pissed.
I kind of like Sonic Forces, but that's probably because it was one of the first Sonic games I played after. I think it was the first 3D Sonic game I played because I didn't have any between the Genesis and the GameCube. I didn't have any. Obviously, it wasn't on the N64. I didn't have the Saturn or anything.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes. Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Oh, he gave me 100 experience for that. Alright, now on to the... Oops. Smack... Oh, no, Tally. I need to speak to Tally. I've not spoken to her in a while. Stop walking into walls. Oh, yeah. I mean, if Nintendo did, God, they would be miles away of anything else if they did that too. But Nintendo's gonna Disney, and they'll be the way they are.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Steren's our top priority.
Too much stretching.
All the world
I need to
we
stretch
I was
because
hoping
of
to
my
find something to bring back to the flotilla.
It's a long time to sit in one place. I don't know how these professional streamers do it. They probably have more regimented breaks and do different things. I mean, charity streams, you're usually moving around and you hit a benchmark and you do a little dance or something like that.
What's so special about
Yeah, they do.
It's my father.
I thought about
He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board.
doing
He's one of only 5 people who can overrule
some kind of
decisions the conclave
fursuit miniskirt dance or something like that. Thank you, I will hydrate. Thought about doing some kind of miniskirt fursuit dance, but I have been having problems with my OBS switching scenes lately, and if I change my camera to not VC face, it'll assume that another program is using it, and then it won't work, and then when I come back, it won't. VC face won't work, and I have to shut everything down, and then it's like I had to reset my computer 8 times today just to get OBS and the Elgato and VC face to work. It's so annoying. There's something I probably need to update, but I don't know what it is. I think it's the Elgato. I think it's causing a problem.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage. Something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything an Aquarian's ever done before.
That's so presumptuous.
Yes, I know.
That's such a ridiculous thing to say.
We're a very insular society. The events
My quest is more important than anything that any of your people have ever done in any of its history ever. Wow. This is what we were talking about a couple of games ago, about this being very kind of human-centric and how it comes off as this very sort of... Actually, we are the ones with the noble adventure, and despite the fact that he's basically talking about an entire race of people...
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now...
I'm going to stretch my back. I might actually stand up and stretch. You will not see my face for a second. Did my stretchies. Woo!
But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard.
It's still lip syncing to my voice. That's interesting. Even though it's not seeing me.
What was your father like?
Stretchy. I'm doing exactly the opposite of a pangolin. Instead of rolling up, I'm stretching out. Waha. Maybe I need a pillow.
And he expected the same of
Where
his
are they?
daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict. A military man through and through.
Papa.
He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt
share
like
my
he was
tweet
pushing me
again.
too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Nope, that's the wrong one. Come here, go top. Go.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the
Show it
background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne
Good, I did
virus
share it to the
that
right
swept
account.
through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work.
Oh
I think that
yeah.
was his way of
Just
dealing
saw a
with the
cute
grief.
foxtail picture on my feed while I
Sounds like a
checked in
tough
briefly.
upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Yeah, no, it's pretty
Like I
bad.
said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind
Stretchy
of person
necky.
you bond with. And he wasn't around all
Stretchy
that much.
necky other way.
Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it,
Mass Effect 2 really makes you talk to everyone several times in a row to get the loyalty mission. And it scares me because I always worry I get impatient.
I mean, I know he cares about
Yeah, exactly. There are certain things that are just basic human rights. Health, food, shelter, water.
Is that I respect him.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Nothing.
I should go.
See you later.
Okay, we've talked to all the important people. You gave me 200 experience because I missed you previously, and I guess we need to go back to the Citadel, even though it's kind of boring. It's pretty, but it's boring. Like a fursuiter with no personality. Haha. Pangolin babies. Oh, I wish you could see this picture. It's so cute. Oh, that's interesting. Asian pangolins are distinguished from African species by presence of bristles, which are merged between the scales. Oh. So focused on pangolins, I ran into a wall. Maybe I should do the moon base now. It would help if I opened the door. I don't want to put a... Galaxy map. 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 Where's the Citadel? Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, absolutely. Horrendously ghoulish. The fact that they are... that anyone even entertains the idea that you have to, like, pay a subscription to live, to be healthy, to be looked after when there is an absolute abundance of cash flow in the right place, or the wrong place, I guess.
Commander,